Hey, I'm Claudia Jordan, and you're watching A Brave Heart View.
Hello, I'm Lee Taylor Young, and you are watching A Brave Heart View.
Hi, I'm Tamir Mori, and you're watching A Brave Heart View.
Hello, I'm Ellie Drake, and you're watching A Brave Heart View. Hello and welcome to A Brave Heart View. Ready to get inspired in only 10 minutes? Our hosts today are Claudia Jordan, one of the stars of Celebrity Apprentice and co-host of the Miss Universe pageant. Lee Taylor Young, film star and TV actress who won an Emmy for her role as the mayor on picket fences, and also she's been a representative for the United Nations. Tamir Mori, who starred opposite her twin sister for 6 years in the highly successful sitcom Sister, Sister. And I'm Ellie Drake, the founder of Brave Heart Women. Our guest today is the founder and chairman of the world's largest business networking organization. Last year, BNI generated 5 million referrals, resulting in $2.3 billion worth of business for its members. In addition to being the founder of BNI, he's also the author of #1 bestseller, The 29% Solution, and New York Times bestseller, Truth or Delusion. He's here to tell us perhaps that in the world of networking, it's not only what you know, but it's also, or maybe more importantly, who you know. I'd like to welcome Dr. Ivan Meisner. Thank you for being here.
It's great to be on the show.
Congratulations on your success, on your mission. Well done. Congratulations.
Well, I'm a 20-year overnight success.
Yes, yes.
What is your book about?
Well, the 29% Solution was actually based on an article I wrote called Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and 6 Degrees of Separation. So, any ideas what they all have in common?
They're all not true?
Yeah, they're all urban legends. Now, I'm not going to tackle Santa or the Easter Bunny. Very good.
I told you I'm smart.
I was hesitating because I thought some of it was true.
Me too.
Well, I'm not going to tackle Santa or the Easter Bunny.
That's
I'll
right.
leave them
I'm
alone.
teasing.
But the idea that we're all separated by 6 degrees is just not true.
Really?
Never was. It's based on a study that was done in the 60s by Stanley Milgram, where he had to get a packet of material from a group of people in Oklahoma to some guy in Massachusetts. They found that it took 6 steps to get there, but only 29% of the participants ever got the material through. 71% did not. So 29% were connected by 6 degrees. They could find that person. 71% couldn't find their car keys. They were lost.
So is it more like 9, 10, 11, 12 degrees? What is it?
Well, for those people, for those people who are connected, for those people who've built a powerful personal network, it is 6. The problem is that only 1 out of 3 people, based on the very study, were connected. So the key is to figure out how to build a powerful personal network and what the techniques are to do
So
that.
is it true that it's not only what you know, but who you know? Or
How
Well,
important
I would say,
is networking?
Well, networking is very important. I'd say it's not what you know or who you know.
Yeah?
It's how well you know them that really counts, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you can have a lot of names in your Rolodex, but the question is, will they pick up the phone and answer? You know, if you called them, will they return your
But
call?
what's the intention? So that's what I'd love to understand. What is the greater vision of this intention of how well do you know them?
Well, to me, networking is more about farming than it is about hunting. It's about
Yes, that's nice.
cultivating relationships.
Yes.
So the intention, I think, has to come from, and in BNI, we use the phrase giver's gain, that you have to be willing to give business to people if you want to get business in return. And that's where the intention is you have to have that kind of relationship.
What about you? I'm sorry, you said you're an overnight success story over 20 years.
20
Yeah.
years.
So the difference now, between now and 20 years ago, now we have all these social networking sites and people are doing business on MySpace and Facebook and now Twitter.
Right.
And what differences have you seen as far as, you know, now these social networks come into play?
Yeah, well, I think they've helped us, not hurt us. In our first 11 years as an organization, we opened 500 groups. In our second 11 years, we opened 5,000 groups. So the internet has been a tool to help people communicate. But our program is, we're literally meeting every single week. So we have 5,000 meetings every week, passing referrals to each other. And that's where the business is generated.
Is there a value system, in other words, that people have to accommodate to? Like I'm seeing a world order that's basically collapsed in business.
Yeah.
We need a new world order that I think is more based on win-win than win-lose, which was greed before. Is this part of the value system you have built in?
Yeah, the whole idea of the giver's gain philosophy of helping each other. We talk about it in the context of a win-win-win. That if I give you a referral, that's a win for you.
Right.
But it's also a win for the person that I referred, because if you do a good job, then they're happy. And they're happy with what you did. And guess what? They're happy with me because I referred you to them. So it's a win-win-win.
Are there standards like values, like integrity, words like integrity, honesty?
Yes.
How is
We
that?
have a code of ethics.
Oh, that's what I mean.
The energy, in fact, I've been to several of the meetings that you have, BNI meetings, all around the world. And they're fantastic. The energy, the spirits of the people inside that are a part of it, the people who communicate the code of ethics is just you've done a fabulous job.
Thank you.
I must say, you know, for many years as an entrepreneur, my business thrived based on personal connections. And it's one of the strongest organizations I've ever witnessed myself. So thank you for what you've done.
Thank you. And I'm jealous you've visited Dubai. And
yes,
I have not gone there.
Yes, and you haven't even been
No,
there
I
yet.
need
There
to
you go.
Yes.
I just want to know, do you hug?
I let the woman hug first, and then I went.
Well, that's another thing we were talking
Do
about.
men and women network differently?
Oh,
that's a
yes,
good question.
they do. I talk
And
about
how should they?
Well, I talk about in my networking what I call the VCP process: visibility, credibility, profitability. That first you have to be visible. People have to know who you are and what you do. But then you have to establish credibility. People have to know who you are, what you do, and that you're good at it. And only when you've gone through those first two can you get to profitability, where you have a relationship where you're passing referrals. Now, my co-author on the book that I'm working on gender and networking, her name is Hazel Walker, and she has this theory, which it's better sometimes when she says it than me, but here it is.
That's right, we won't bite.
Okay, thanks. She said that women have a tendency to go from visibility to credibility and get caught up in credibility and not ask for that sale. Okay? And that men have a tendency to go
from visibility,
to profitability.
There you go.
And she said, think about relationships. It's very similar. Dating, very similar. Men want to go from visibility to profitability.
But
so we'll see if that works out.
As far as women, though, that's, you know, I think I definitely agree, because women, we tend to have a little bit of a block toward receiving. So you know, to be open to profit is receiving, asking.
We're not great askers.
Yeah, so we stay. Why do you have a problem asking?
I don't know. Well, for me, I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of the answer. You know, am I going to get, you know, what I want? So that's my
Rejection.
personal.
Yeah,
rejection.
Women have been
failure.
conditioned to a certain hesitancy.
Yes.
We're coming out of it.
Yeah.
This is a generation and time when I think don't you think we're moving more out of it?
And we use more emotions and less logic, and the men seem to use more logic, and it seems to work with them. I think our blocks come from our emotions.
I think a balance of both is fantastic.
Yes, the
What's your
balance.
vision with BNI? Where do you want to take it?
We plan on having groups in every entrepreneurial nation in the world.
Yeah.
Right now we have groups in about 42 countries. You mentioned that we generated about $2.3 billion worth of business. Now, just so you know, that's the same as the gross domestic product for the country of Liechtenstein. Okay, it's a small country, I know. But how cool is that?
that
we
is
as a business organization could generate as much business as a small nation in the
Do you
world.
see this
Looking
as a
for
way
a bigger
to
nation, but
peace?
Yeah.
Can you use something like BNI? Trade. I always thought trade was a way people get to know each other.
yes. I've been to chapters in Israel where Jews and Muslims were in the same group passing
I love
business
that.
to each
I
other.
get goosebumps when I hear things like that.
In Northern Ireland, when there was a lot of violence, we made sure that every chapter had both Protestants and Catholics involved in the leadership teams. And it was amazing that how they could work together when you put them in that kind of environment.
It's learning to work. Wouldn't you say the summary in a way is what you're doing is through this networking, people are learning about each other, they're learning how to work with each other, and maybe even become solution oriented.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's not only a great way to get business, it's an even better way to do business.
Yeah.
I like that you're mixing business, which can sometimes be cutthroat, with a code of ethics.
Yes.
And that's probably why you're so successful and have billions of dollars.
Fantastic. And really, it's one of the best ways.
Well, I don't have billions, but I've generated.
I'm sorry, I heard
Pretty
billions.
good show. That's a pretty good show.
Sorry, I'm staring at you now.
But we've helped generate
billions
for
for
our members,
referrals for the members. Yes, fantastic. But you have billions of dollars worth of joy that comes from you following
we've
your
helped
passion.
a lot of people. You know, different races
Absolutely.
and religions, we all speak the language of referrals.
Yeah, and to summarize it, to wrap it up, you know, no matter what is happening with social media on the internet, offline connections are still very important. So everybody, look up BNI, look up BNI, and definitely find out where your nearest chapter is in your local area. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate your work.
Thank you, ladies.
Looking forward to
I
seeing you.
have
Founder of
thoroughly enjoyed
BNI.
this interview. It was a
Absolutely.
blast.
Definitely. All right, to get more information about Dr. Ivan Misner, log into braveheartview.com and click on resources.
Core Inner Circle members, you can also access Dr. Ivan's exclusive video titled Modern Networking Tips That Will Boost Your Business in your Core member section.
Finally, we want to get your Braveheart view. So to join us in our discussion forum after the show or to watch more episodes, go to braveheartview.com.
On behalf of our incredible guest, Dr. Ivan Misner, and our hosts, Claudia, Lee, Tamara, and myself, Ellie, thank you for connecting, and peace in.